Hello guys, today I've got all the reasons why to stay home. I got all the reasons why I would give up on my dream. I've got all the reasons why I wouldn't follow through. And I've got all the reasons why I could have such a nice excuse in order to avoid thinking that I'm actually failing. Today we talk about our habits, and we also talk about how we are now on the path of becoming a different person we would like to become. And in that matter, hello, I'm Michael, and I'm the one that tries to help you on your path of personal transformation. Transformation that you set out for, and transformation that you want to achieve. And in order to do that, today we're going to talk about habits. Habits of changing our life facts, our life circumstances. It's easy to say, I'm gonna transform. And it's easy to say, yes, I will do that, and these kind of things. But it's the hardest when there is a situation like today. There is a warm bed, there is somebody next to you. You want to keep sleeping, but on the other hand, you know why you do these morning walks. These morning walks to me have now become a second nature. But in order to become that, and in order to keep the second nature regardless of the situation, there are certain stages that we need to go through in our development, and they're quite interesting. I never knew them until I really started to explore this. We all form habits in our lives. Let them be so-called positive, let them be so-called negative. And these habits allow our body and our mind to simplify our existence and simplify the way we live and also preserve energy. Our mind is created in a way that it forms habits of the things that stimulate us, because what the brain is looking for is stimulation, and it's looking for the rewards that it was originally created for. Food gives you pleasure, different kind of things give you pleasure, and the brain is a pleasure seeking mechanism that then forms a habit how to keep this pleasure. And we need to be aware that something or some habits that along down the road form pleasure actually start with no pleasure at all, or with pain, or with psychological pain if it's not physical pain. And some habits always produce some kind of physical pain or psychological pain, but you know they are good for you. And you don't judge them just by what the brain tells you. So it's quite a difficult and challenging road forming a habit or so-called second nature, or simply you become that. And there are phases where you start with conscious decision every day or every time you perform this habit, because it's not, you know, it's good for you. And you need to be persistent, some say, for at least 21 days in order to form some kind of behavior. Behavior is already a bit automatic response. Maybe you start craving some of the feelings that were produced at the end of the activity, and you start forgetting what it takes to come to those feelings. For example, when you climb the mountain, you need to suffer a bit first for you to arrive to the top, where there is an amazing achievement, an amazing feeling when you look at the view and when you know that you conquered yourself a couple of times along the way climbing to the mountain. And the more often you climb, the less times during the climb you need to conquer yourself. The more times you don't have the thoughts anymore to quit, but you have the thought of, wow, this one I'm gonna really push against my body, and wow, I will form new muscles, and thoughts like that. So when it becomes a behavior, you have a chance to move forward and claim that this is your habit. Like we could say, filming these videos, at some point, for me, it became a habit. It became a habit of expressing myself, and became a habit of sharing my thoughts and knowledge and wisdom with people who are searching for them. And this habit now allows me to wake up every morning and walk even against the rain, even against the snow. And you always remember those difficult days more than you remember any easy day. It's so easy during the summer when you enjoy the morning coldness after hot days, and it's so more difficult during the winter, where you go out to the cold air, where there is warmth and comfort inside. And it's such a good representation of how our settled life holds us back from our superpowers that we can express if we just decide that that comfort is not comfort anymore. And once you form a habit and you repeat it for a long time, there is no habit anymore. You reprogrammed your brain, and it became a second nature to you. It became a second nature that you don't even think about it, you just know that you do that. And sooner or later, you become a driven person, which integrates this as part of the regular life, and you become that. And currently, I can find myself in the second nature stage, where it's still not completely me, but it's a second nature. And how did we come to this? Repeating the habit or the action or the activity so many times that you don't even know anymore how not to do it. There is no other explanation, but it pulls you. It pulls you by itself. If you wouldn't do it, you would deny being yourself. And it's amazing when you achieve this with some positive habit and not with the negative one that we can so easily form due to stimulation that they bring. It's very nice when you have this kind of habit or second nature, and then sometimes you intentionally allow yourself, let's say, to sleep in. And then you can see that actually sleeping in doesn't provide the stimulation that your brain thought it will if you allow yourself to do it. It actually is counterproductive. Actually, you get more stimulation from doing the habit than, in my case, to sleep in. So it's quite amazing. And in that matter, we have been talking about this giant leap forward in our lives and how we can make smaller steps in order to make that giant leap that is waiting for us. And in that matter, if you started a health routine or any other activity at the beginning of January, like we have discussed about, and probably how you decided for the New Year's decision kind of making, then at this point you would already have a formed behavior and you would feel the first effects of automatic pulling towards doing it. If this is everyday habit, then you are at this stage. If this is once a week habit, you still have some way to go. But maybe you at this stage you could be thinking about, what if I do this twice a week? Because maybe the body is already in the phase where it craves that stimulation, it craves that achievement, it craves that feeling that you get when you do it. So you're on a good path and keep on going. Allow yourself to explore. As we said, we are explorers that explore new kind of life that it's not familiar to us. And when we explore everything. We explore success, we explore failure, we explore everything. Everything is important. And let's just do it. We've got everything what we wish for, and let's do it. And in this matter, I wish you a great day and start to the week. We are all amazing. We are doing our best.